By any measure, the Conservatives have been in charge for 13 years. So is it a failure that our viewers this morning are living through the biggest drop in living standards on record?
No.
This is the country's levelling up secretary. Child poverty has just hit a record high. The number of children in food poverty has doubled in the last year. More than 4 million kids are now living in poverty. More than 4 million. That's a staggering 30% of all children in the UK. 1 million adults can't afford to eat every day. 9 million are skipping meals and cutting back on food. A record 2.1 million people are now using food banks. Over 14 million living in poverty. 2/3 of them in working families. More than 3 million adults in hygiene poverty. We've got GPs prescribing nutritional drinks to starving patients. Kids eating out of bins. The elderly forced to choose between heat and food, and the unrelenting misery this government keeps heaping on the country gets worse. The highest taxation since the Second World War, the highest inflation in 40 years, the biggest drop in living standards since records began. And all that's on top of a decade of soaring food banks, homelessness, falling life expectancy, fuel poverty and wage stagnation under successive Conservative governments. And at the very moment, workers across the country are standing together and with one voice saying enough is enough. This slippery, truth-twisting, law-breaking piece of crap government is forcing through new anti-strike legislation to rob millions of them of their democratic right to withdraw their labour, force them to work against their will and allow them to be sacked if they refuse. Just once, how about pointing all this out to viewers?